Why are Seiko watches so expensive in 2025? According to YouTube Studio Analytics, that's one of the most common searches on YouTube and Google. And although it's a very common question, apparently, it's not the easiest answer. You see, when people ask me that question, why are Seikos now so damn expensive? It's kind of like, how much time do you got? Because I'm gonna have to explain to you how Seiko went from the people's champion of over-spec'd, over-delivering watches that are just so affordable yet so impressive, to now being essentially just a limited edition watch factory. But if you've got about 5 minutes, I'm gonna explain to you Seiko's apparent downfall, or depending on how you look at it, their strategic climb up the mountain. It is 1:29 p.m., let's get down to business. Once upon a time, and when I say once upon a time, I mean like 6 years ago, Seiko was the brand, like the go-to brand for entry-level watch collectors. People that wanted screw-down crowns, 200-meter water resistance ratings, in-house movements, mechanical movements at that, very interesting dials, and supreme functionality for not a whole lot of money. You see, they were an entry-level brand making non-entry-level watches, and that was a really good thing. You had the SKX, the Turtle, the Monster, then they came out with the Samurai, things that actually did something and made collectors like you and I very, very excited, especially because you didn't have to break the bank to get one. Then something happened, right? SKX discontinued, Alpinist discontinued. Then there was some rumblings, some repositioning, some reissues, different specs, minimal, different price tags, yeah, you bet. They were giving us very similar watches for a whole lot more money and just a different series printed on the dial. Yeah, that Alpinist that you could find for like $375 brand new, now it's $750. And it's a Pro Specs. Oh, that SKX that you could find for $250 with a threaded crown and a 200-meter water resistance rating? Well, now you can get a Seiko 5KX that has a 100-meter water resistance rating and a pull-out crown. So it's worse, and you're spending more money for it. Awesome. No doubt these changes swiftly got people like you and I asking the question, what the hell is going on with Seiko? Well, believe it or not, Seiko planned this. This wasn't like a random, arbitrary thing. This was very, very much deliberate on their part. You see, as far back as 2018, Seiko decided that they wanted to ditch the discount brand image. They were dedicated to moving up market, and they were going to make some changes and adjustments to assure that that happened. Around this time, 2018 right into 2019, that's when Grand Seiko officially became its own brand with its own management. This is also when we started seeing more Presage models, more Pro Specs models, adjustments between watches that we've seen before but now under a different series. Fancier names, but also fancier price tags. This is also when we saw Seiko investor reports highlighting the GB strategy, or global brand strategy, which aims to deepen excitement and great satisfaction. That's corporate talk for we want richer customers. Which brings us now to 2020. I feel like something happened around that time. It's true the pandemic had something to do with all of this. I mean, it wrecked global supply chains. It made things like materials and labor a bit more expensive, that's for sure. But surprisingly, this is also when we saw a massive uptick in online luxury shopping. Surprise, surprise, you're stuck at home, you have nothing to do, you're gonna spend some money on your credit card on something you probably don't need. And according to market research, demand for mechanical watches in the $1,000 to $3,000 range exploded. So Seiko, around this time, did what every other watch brand did, which was focus on churning out limited edition products to fit into those parameters, right? We need something between $1,000 to $3,000 because that's where people are spending their money. So Seiko did that on a very large scale. And guess what? It worked, okay? It's not like this decision tanked Seiko's sales. Every watch that Seiko put out as a limited edition in that price range got gobbled up immediately. But why? Why did this work out for them? Well, it's because that low, affordable end market were now being saturated with smartwatches and kind of cheaper quartz watches. And Seiko decided we don't need to compete with that anymore. Why duke it out with a $50 Amazon digital watch when we can just move up market and keep doing limited reissues? They found a way to make more money selling less watches. It was perfect. So now in 2025, it is true. Seiko watches are much more expensive than they used to be. Most of their catalog sits above $1,000. And unfortunately, like most of their watches have that really disgusting offset circular date window, which makes zero sense, but I digress. Some people try to defend Seiko by saying, well, you know, inflation has a whole lot to do with this, and that does play a part. I complain about inflation a whole lot when we take a look at certain products and how it's wreaked havoc on various markets, but that's actually not all that's happening in this regard. This is a very deliberate decision by Seiko management to parse things out, go up market, rebrand, and ditch the affordable market altogether. You see, Seiko is not chasing that best value trophy anymore. They're going for brand prestige. They've already gotten the, pats on the back for being super duper affordable. That got them to where they are now, and now they're going for the big bucks and the big name. So was this really Seiko's downfall? Did they really lose their way? Or did they just find another mountain to climb? I personally think they're just on another mountain and they're climbing it very nicely. They're making a whole lot of money and they don't care about my opinions on the matter, but it's my choice to not climb it with them, right? I think that there's a whole lot more value under the Seiko price point at this time. And I think we see a whole lot of other brands and even micro brands that are giving us a ton more watch for a lot less money. So although this may sound like a cop-out answer, why are Seiko watches so expensive in 2025? Because Seiko made it that way on purpose. Hey guys, if you learned something or if you enjoyed this video, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Every new subscriber helps me out a ton. Leave a like, leave a comment. I learn from you just as much as you learn from me, and I will catch you on the next one. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed, and stay in the fight. I'm Jory Goodman, the time teller, and always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it.